Time to Tetons.
I've been a really bad boy.
Come get your cup of TRU T as we spill it one cup at a time. Alright guys, we're ready to spill the tea one cup at a time. We are back at BULGE right here in the Tampa Bay area, and we're excited to be back. I'm Tyler Butler, host of TRU T, and I got my friend here,
JC Ray, the new clown.
The new clown. I can't wait to find out about that clown and how she was clowning around, apparently. We're going to find out about that before we get there. Who are you?
I'm Lindsay Carlton-Cline.
Oh, and you're not clowning around?
Not really.
And speaking about clown, Grandma Pearl?
Honey, she's not a clown. I'm a clown. I'm a professional clown. And matter of fact, I'm a master clown. She's no clown. My name is Grandma Pearl, and I've got something to say I put out.
Oh, all right. All right. So let's get right to it and talk about, it's all over social media, girl. You clowning around with the nose and all. Let's talk about it. What is going on? I saw you went viral this past week.
Yeah, I never thought that making a mistake and admitting it would be my claim to fame to getting followers and more donations. But really what it is I created a platform called Simply the Best Community Programming 2 years ago. It's a pageant format that raises money for different organizations within the community. And last year we had an issue with the scoring with the judges and questioning, and it was kind of ugly at the end. There was issues of race that were brought up. There were just things that just were ugly.
And well, let's talk about firsthand the issue, the pageant. So you incorrectly got some scores that were incorrectly added. You were, first of all, hosting a show.
Hosting, producing,
a show.
directing.
Right, and then the judges who judged the talent.
They, first of all, the show was incredible. It was sold out. We raised I think it's now at $2,900 for the Moffitt Cancer Center. I'm very proud of that. I don't want anybody to ever forget that. And when it came time to announce the winner, what happened was I was given a piece of paper with the two candidates' names on it, with two different scores, and I asked the question, was the additional 40 points added to the score of the person who brought in the most money? That's how the format works. And I was told no. And at that point, I'm going to be honest, I made a mistake when I added it, and I announced the wrong winner. And how it went from there was they were crowned, everybody was leaving, and then it was brought to my attention that I had made the mistake. And at that moment, I was horrified, I was humiliated, and I had to make a decision. Do I sit here and not say anything? And have
Which would have been me. Just saying. Because I knew the backlash it would have happened.
Well, I knew exactly what was coming, but I did the right thing. And I believe that truly in my heart. Would I go back and change things? No, I would not. I wouldn't. The person who won is the person who won. And that's the one thing I'm not going to do today is I'm not going to mention anybody by name.
By the way, not to stop you there, but to stop you there, I did reach out to the judges and asked them, I know it's short notice, can you be on the show? They said all of them wrote back except for one. The two that did write back, they were not able to be here because they said they had to work. And I said, well, one is actually doing another pageant, they said during the day today. And the other one said that they had to work, and I said, well, you can call in to the show, which we're going to be getting to that in a minute because we do have someone calling in. But none were available to speak on behalf of this. None were available. All they said was have a great show. And so they were not, unfortunately, able to be here to speak on behalf of them being a judge for the pageant, but they just said have a good show.
And I want to say I still have full confidence in the panel of judges that I chose. I have a lot of respect for all three of them, and that's not going to change. So I made the mistake, and I owned it. I went on social media. I apologized sincerely. I thought in my head that maybe that would soften the blow that I knew was going to come. The next morning, I got up, and because of all of the chaos, you have to understand too, not only did I direct it, produce it, host it, I'd also, from the night before the show at the Garage, where I am the show director there, when I got home that night, I got a phone call that my aunt had passed away. So there's a lot that was going on. I'm not making excuses, but I am human. And last time I checked, there is no line to heaven that says perfect. So that morning, Monday morning, when I woke up, it took me about 10 minutes to realize who I was, where I was, and what day it was. It had been such a whirlwind of emotions and everything going on. And so I went to social media to sincerely thank everyone that was a part of Sunday night's success. And then shockingly, I kept waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting because I knew it was coming. This is not my first time being dragged through the mud. It probably won't be my last time. But it hit about 5:30 on Monday. And from there, it's been a couple days of bottom line hatred, nastiness, disgusting, and I include myself in that because as a human, I can take so much, and I'm guilty of I engaged in it, and that is my only regret. But I was taught and I was brought up, and I know many others were brought up and taught that you need to stand up for yourself. I took the initiative to own a mistake that I made. It's a lot more than most people would do.
But when you say you engaged in it, what you did was you just wanted the truth to be out there. You actually put up the score sheets, which were the part that you're saying that you're engaged in. Let me stop you there. Now, Lindsay, you have been involved in so many pageants.
Yes.
I mean, years of pageants since you're 85 years old now.
At least. Yeah, and years of pageantry and everything like that.
Have you ever heard of this kind of stuff? I mean,
Yeah, of course.
Social media, when you first started, wasn't really around, was it? I think they were using stones.
Yeah. I came in on a carriage, of course. No, I think what happens is that when people, first of all, people want the person they want to win, period. And then you have the thing that we had a simple, which became a huge mistake, which was, it's common. I mean, we make mistakes along the way. I think she did everything in her power to resolve it and take care of it, and she did the right thing by calling the true winner, which should have been called. How could you not call the true winner at a pageant?
Right.
That's crazy. So,
but it's happened.
okay,
right?
I think another issue, if it was, is after looking at the score sheets, there were a lot of scribbles on that score sheet, and this, I think, is what's making people go an eyebrow raise.
And that's why I reached out to the judges, because of what I saw online, and I was like, why are those score sheets written like that? Was that your writing, or whose?
I have not touched those score sheets other than they were handed to me that way.
And I just simply want to say, when I'm when I'm judging a pageant or anything, we have score sheets. We write the number, someone else tallies them, and then they take care of it. That's their responsibility, not ours. We don't have time. We're moving on.
Right. You're hosting a show.
Exactly. So what happens is, it's all tallied up. We're done. If we make a mistake and we cross it out, we have to initial it, okay? And if we initial it, that's a sign that we changed our mind.
Well, there were some initials on some of the stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, people have gone to the extremes of saying, and I have yet to meet any of them that are actually professional handwriting experts. I mean, they have gone in and said, well, this one is not the same. And again, I don't see any of them producing any evidence that they're an expert in handwriting.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that has a lot to do with the whole thing in general, because they saw all the scribbles. That, to me, was a sign that it should not have ever have happened. They should have had a clean sheet, clean answers to that question, who won? And that's all I have to say. But yes, am I saying that you did the right thing by doing it? Absolutely. And you took the blow for it. You did, and you're continuing to take the blow for it. And it needs to stop. The true winner won and was announced wrongly, but that's how it went.
Yeah.
That's how it went.
Well, speaking about true winner, we actually have someone really big in the community, Tiffani Middlesexx, who knows everything about pageants, has been a huge part of the Tampa Bay area since I was at least 5 or 4. So, no, she's been around for years, and I think she was like 1980, Tiffani Middlesexx or something
I think
like that?
so. Miss Florida, and she'll have a lot to say on this subject, and she'll have a lot of guidance to go through
Absolutely.
it.
So you don't want to miss that interview. It's coming up next, so stay right there. We're going to hear from our sponsor, and we'll be right back after this message.
Oh my God, Becky, look at that crust!
Using only the finest of ingredients, providing the best fresh pizza, pasta, and sauce and more. Find out why everyone's talking about Due Amici. 1724 East 7th Avenue, Tampa. Welcome back. All right, guys, as promised, I have the one, the only Tiffani Middlesexx. She's not in the building, but she's in the building because she's on the phone with us right now. She called into the show. Hi, Tiffani. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. So, obviously, we've got to talk about some pageant stuff that we hear you might know something about. So, tell me a little bit about your history in the pageant world. And you were, I think, Miss Florida, 19...
80.
Wow. So you know a lot about pageants, and today we're obviously talking about pageants and mistakes and that sort of thing. So tell us a little bit about your history in the pageant world.
Well, I was never a big pageant girl. I did pageants more as an advance in my career. I wasn't what you call a pageant girl, but, you know, when I first started, I entered some pageants, you know, because you win a pageant, that kind of advances your career. And when I won Miss Florida, of course, that was the epitome, and that was real cool. But I also won Miss Orlando, some pageants up there when I lived in Detroit and in Toledo, my hometown. I was Miss Toledo and Miss Ohio. So I've got a one or two under my belt.
So I've got to ask you, during your history with the pageant world, do you ever remember there being a time of a mistake happening? Maybe a judge got a judge had turned in their numbers and they didn't actually write down the person who won, or was there a mistake ever in the pageant world ever?
Yeah, I can think of one.
Okay. And
I made it. It was me.
Oh, it was sure.
Yeah, I'm so embarrassed. It was during the Miss, what is it? It's right here in Tampa, Miss Heart of Florida, the first year that I judged. You know, I was a little slow back then, and I got a couple of contestants' scores mixed up, but I straightened it out. It all got straightened out before the pageant, but yeah.
Did you have social media back when that happened?
Yeah, we had your social media. It was only about, maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
And was there scandal on social media where people really had a meltdown?
No one really knew except for me and the pageant coordinator, Marshall. Well, no one else knew. We just cleaned it up before anyone knew something was wrong. That's exactly what it was. Yeah, it was my mistake, but it got all taken care of.
Right.
I gave one girl the wrong scores. I was giving, but I knew after I done, I knew what I did, and we corrected it all. So it came out okay. It came out correctly.
Right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story, and we miss you. And you need to come sit at the table with us and have some tea, girl.
Honey, get Miss Lindsay to bring my ass down there. I'll be glad to.
Well, thank you.
Wheels, girl. She's got wheels.
Well,
Got these 2 old crooked feet.
absolutely. So we're going to keep talking, and we'll keep you on if you want to stay on. If not, you can hang up. That was Miss Tiffani Middlesexx, and you heard it first. I mean, I didn't even actually know that she was going to talk, and I didn't know that. But did you remember that? Like there was like some kind of...
There always is something going on. It's a big job pageants are.
Absolutely. So as you heard, you know, things can happen in private and they can happen in public. You chose to make it public. You chose to say, hey, I made a mistake. They actually took a picture that we're showing our viewers now of you and actually reconstructed you with
they-
a clown nose and clown hair.
Clown hair and clown nose, which I think is actually a really cute picture, by the way. Thank you very much. But they also took the flyer from Simply the Best Community Programming's pageant, and they put my picture in the middle over the former title holder, and instead of saying Simply the Best, they put the worst pageant ever. Is that alone right there on that saying the worst pageant ever? That statement also, if you really, really want to stand by that, what you're saying is that in the last year, the $20,000 that we raised to help the veterans in St. Petersburg, Florida at VFW Post 39 stay open is invalid. What you're saying is you're also saying that the 5-year-old whose father was killed, who we raised $2,000 for to help pay for a year's worth of karate, is invalid. You're also saying that all of the special needs children that we raised money for over the last year are invalid. And if you're going to stand by that and you want to say that we're invalid, that's on you, not me.
Now, getting back to the clown thing, that's really insulting to clowns, because some of the things that were written about the clown thing that in the script of that was it's insulting.
Yeah, well, not just to me, but I mean, there are people in the world that make a living as a clown.
Yeah, are you clowning around?
I'm not clowning around.
Would you be insulted by that?
I think all the clowns would be, because we take our profession very serious, and we don't do this backstabbing like what's being happened here.
Yeah.
That's not funny. We don't do things that are evil, and this is what's happening. So it's not. I don't know. It's not a clown.
You know,
Clowns
it's
don't
interesting
do
to
that.
me as the perceptive on a man versus a woman. I don't think a real man would have ever, if they were involved in a pageant, would have never. It's women really get into the gossip
It
and
is
stuff.
women.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, in this situation, it's men dressed as women.
Right. But the thought of being a woman.
Yeah, right.
That straight men would never do this. Never do this.
Yeah.
It's only a woman.
I think
that
that the sad part of this is we as a community have fought for the rights of being accepted. We're supposedly a community that is against bigotry, hatred, and these posts that were posted have had huge responses to them, and a lot of them have been nothing but hate. There have been people that have tried to make themselves relevant. I mean, a lot of these people that have made comments, I don't even know who they are.
So we also have to mention, for maybe people that are living underneath a rock and they're watching this through their streaming device and they're not on social media, because this show is also on all the streaming devices. So we also want to mention these posts came from the person who was really upset, who did not win, who got crowned incorrectly. They made the original post with the clown and all that, and the descriptions of all the different things to go along with that, and of you, and the hatred started coming in after that post, and that post went viral. So I did contact him. He was the person that was incorrectly crowned, like I said, and I did contact him. He was upset. I wanted to give him the opportunity to either, if he didn't want to come on the show, call into the show. We wanted to have him express and ask you some of the things that may be of interest, of questions to you, and not to people that have no idea or was not actually at the event. And I thought that was a fair trade. So I did reach out to him, and he said he just wanted this to go away, is what he said. So, which was interesting. But after I spoke to you about it, I said, bring the screenshots. Let's talk about it. The screenshots disappeared because the post was what?
Well, we have the screenshots, but the post disappeared.
The post disappeared, exactly.
At the end of the day, listen, I am not going to be affected by this anymore. I'm going to continue to do what I've always done, and that is to work tirelessly to help others. I'm going to say thank you right now to everybody that has made my name even bigger in the community. Anybody that knows me and really knows me knows that I'm not somebody that would maliciously try to hurt somebody. I wouldn't do it. I am not going to sit here and say that I'm perfect and that I don't make mistakes. I do. And I don't want anybody to suffer any form of hatred or bigotry. It's turned into something really ugly. There are people that are being misgendered and being referred to wrongly. There are people being accused of being all kinds of sort of things. And if I'm going to be very frank with everybody right now, we look like a bunch of idiots. Bottom line. That's all I have to say.
All right. Well, in that case, we're going to end it here. I think we're all out of time. So we want to thank you for watching, obviously. Each and every week we go out and we come out and have a seat and have some tea. And we have some tea with you. We want to thank you again for watching and thank our sponsor, TampaBayGay.com, for helping us put this together. That's the end of a segment. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week when we're spilling tea one cup at a time.
This has been an Out and About media production in association with Tampa Bay's #1 gay website and business directory, TampaBayGay.com.